Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, welcome to your work, career, and vocation read. Timeless, but doing this for the month of October and November 2021. Whenever you catch it, I am your reader. Angelo, Lyons, Mal for short, professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing the Circle Productions since 1998, author of Words of Grace from a Professional Witch, available on Kindle, link in the description box. The Archangel of Lyons, Angelo Lyons. But you can call me Mal. Hi, my crab cakes. Hi. It's time to look at your life purpose through the lenses of work, career, vocation. 3 levels of power. That there is a link in the description box for a video by Caroline Myss. This is her archetype deck, the Caroline Myss archetype decks, based on her work. 3 levels of power was a life changer for me. It's a way of looking at your life in many different ways. In 3 different lenses in one. In this case, your life purpose, your contracts, what you came to do in this life in these 3 levels, and that's why those links are down there to explain that. I do these readings all the time for clients and have been for decades and decades, about not just making money, but finding fulfillment in doing what you incarnated to do in this life, what soul powers you came in to develop, what issues you came in to alchemize, from lead to gold, toxic to healthy. There are chakras involved. We'll see what comes out of my mouth in terms of explanation through inspiration. That's why I pray before I do this and ask them to do it through me and for me. So it's a general read. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Check your other signs, because your sun sign is going to get different leverage than your moon sign. You want to kind of holistically, if you know all 4 of your placements, helpful. Particularly your Venus, because that's what you love, right? What you love to do, your relationships with what you do, and even your relationships with money. So let's get up in this gig. It's a general read, as I said, both feet on the floor if you can. Focus on your breath if you will. I will do the same to get you the clarity, guidance, and grace that I can get through them, through these systems, through my intuitive skills, through the tube of you, to you, my crab cakes. Anything else? I guess that is about that. Oh, if you want to book me for a private reading, easy enough to do. There's a video I did booking a reading with Mal. You can check all that out below. Let's do this. Please take a nice deep breath. Tuning myself to the Cancerian collective as I call upon my collective pantheons of angels, archangels, goddesses, gods, ascended masters of life purpose through work, career, vocation, and the higher selves of all involved, 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above, for the Cancerian collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading. Let's look at their life purpose. We're going to start with the 8th chakra dynamics, 3 levels of power. What's going on in their 8th chakra? The main lesson going on in their work world, the 8th chakra of their work life. How about the 8th chakra for their career, their hunger, their passion, their thirst, that thing that really feeds their soul, and their soul that feeds the well-being of all, and in their vocation, their real 8th chakra dynamic placement here, their spiritual calling, right? Their mystical power, as well as their spiritual power for this work, career, vocation read. These are already in the title, so let's see. Well, what a powerful trio, triumvirate we've got here. We've got a divine child, virgin, femme fatale. Ooh, watch out, you Cancerians. I mean, femme fatale, the first place, well, Mata Hari I go to, just historically, but right after that, it's pretty much Morticia Addams, right? All versions, right? Not just Carolyn Jones. Angelica Houston did a magnificent turn, didn't she just? So this is very powerful. I am loving this. Let's start in your work. So if you think of the 8th chakra as everything underneath it, this is the lesson it's about. This is what the story is, the archetypal story of the divine child here. The shadow is what needs healing, right? Which you don't want to look at, or if you know about it, you don't want anybody to know about. The light is what you're shooting for here. Everybody has a child archetype. It's a survival family archetype. The child, the victim, the saboteur, the prostitute. Everybody has those four. Even nations, corporations, everything has those four survival archetypes. And everybody has a child archetype, but not everybody has the divine child. I do. So the shadow attribute, an inability to defend oneself against negative forces, which is a pain in the ass, particularly if you are an empath, and I'm talking to Cancerians here. So chances are you are. Water signs in general. I'm a Pisces moon. So that kind of water placement, particularly Cancerian, creative water, the mothers of the zodiac, it can be like an echo chamber where you're feeling everybody's everything, and it's often hard to determine what's yours, what's not. Hence, even defending yourself against the negative forces of people that you might be living with, right? The light attribute, however, innocence, purity, and redemption. That's a big word, redemption. Suggests a special connection with the divine. And chances are, if you're watching my channel, because that's what I truck in, I'm a mystic, and I have that divine child archetype since birth. The child, the victim, the saboteur, and prostitute, those four survival family archetypes are lifelong. Everybody gets those. So you can have an archetype, a reason, a season, or a lifetime. The child, the victim, the saboteur, the prostitute, lifetime. Everybody has those in your Chronos wheel, from womb to tomb, birth to death. So, you know, the child archetype, regardless of sub-pattern, I say this every time, is about safety and innocence, but in this case, a very, very high spiritual vibe. Now, that's in your work. So if you're feeling safe in your work, if you're feeling divinely guided, but you're probably having to deal with negative forces, right, in the workaday world, your survival intuition, well, you've got a survival archetype. Lower three chakras is survival intuition. Right, on the ground, how you navigate that. We'll get to that. Let's look at your career, the Virgin, a feminine family archetype that has nothing to do with bodily gender, let alone sexuality, but let's go there. The shadow, fear of intimate union. Now, what's interesting here is the divine child has a special, you could say, an intimate relationship with the divine. So this is a different vibe. This is definitely about purity, you would say, is the key word here for the Virgin archetype. So fear of intimate union of the divine in order to spoil their purity in some way, shape, or form. And that's not all sexual. The light you're shooting for, maintaining symbolic purity of heart and spirit. Now, I am a Virgo, so I'm familiar with the Virgin archetype, though I do not have it a lifetime, oddly enough. I have it a season. It comes and goes. Oh my God, you want to see me cringe? You want to see me cringe? Karaoke. Public karaoke. I just twitch and pass out, right? Good choreography done badly, or just bad choreography, right? As an artist, I can be very much a purist, a bit of a snob, and I know it. I am aware of it. I know that's part of the shadow side of it. But the other example that I have for this is from Carolyn Myss herself, and I swear I felt naked when she said it. She said, if there's a stick of butter on the table and there's like crumbs or knife cuts into it, I want my own stick of butter. And I'm like, that's the Virgin archetype. You get it? So it's symbolic purity. So symbolic purity in your career. You're not willing to prostitute yourself. You're not willing to sell. You're not willing to just follow what everyone else is doing because they're making a lot of money at it if it doesn't resonate with the symbolic purity of your heart. That's gorgeous. That's gorge. Oh my God, no, gorge. This is awesome. I love this read for you. The Femme Fatale. Come on. It's one of our favorites. We love a Femme Fatale, a fatal female. Again, nothing to do with bodily gender. It is a wild card family archetype, and you never know what you're going to get, how that's going to manifest. So expect the unexpected with any wild card archetype. The shadow, inappropriate use of sensuality, attachment to money and power. So it may not be so much that your calling has to do with prostituting yourself, but doing whatever is necessary to get what I need and being a little not fatalist. Being a fatalist doesn't make you a femme fatale. A fatalist is saying that everything is fate and, you know, we have no control, and to an extent that's true. Fate is what you're handed. Destiny is what happens if you do the work, right? You take the hero's journey, which the light attribute here highlights the erotic energy of the feminine, opens your heart when your dependency is rejected. And I'm going to tell you, if this child does not feel safe, if it feels rejected, abandoned, more the orphan archetype granted, but if particularly in your spirituality, if you're feeling a little cut off, we all go through that. It's called integration. Can't be lit up and inspired 24/7, 365. The nervous system can't handle it. It is upgrading with every inspiration and upgrade we get. But, you know, the child might feel like, I don't know, I don't feel safe in the world, which who does, really, if we're honest. And an inability to defend oneself. Well, this is saying, well, then, even if that is true, I have to open my heart. See, what people don't understand about feminine energy, and a lot of people don't understand a lot about feminine energy, it's really not about bodily gender. Look to the East. Look to the Taoists, right? The Tao Te Ching. It is the magnetic force. It is what attracts. When people are talking the law of attraction, that's why so much of it is about emotion. It is about really drawing to you. So that erotic energy, it's not predatory, but femme fatale. There's a hidden agenda, so watch your hidden agendas. Now, in terms of a spiritual calling, I know lots of women. I mean, I can think of a few men too, certainly more on the drag queen side of things perhaps, that really, really wear that. It's like, come for me, you better sharpen your claws, right? You want to play? You want to play, right? I love that. Not so much the Amazon, not so much Wonder Woman, but yeah, Morticia. Morticia. Zatanna, if we're going to stay within the DC universe there. I love these three archetypes. Okay, that's the longest we're going to talk about any of the cards individually. Let's get some tarot on the table. So that's hovering over your head, right? You could look at my work life, my career life, my calling. Let's get all these in alignment. What's going on? Heart, throat, third eye, crown, the internal world, your feminine energy, which is really highlighted here. Breathe. Not shocked for a Cancerian. Oh, here now the vibe changes as I call upon my goddesses of water, the sign of Cancer, the powers of the West, please. Great Virgin, Queen, and Crone. 3 cards in clarity for the Cancerian collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading, your little crablet sons and daughters. Let's look at that divine child archetype. What do they need to look at inside of themselves here? Heart, throat, third eye, crown. Well, the Pisces card, I'm going to say not only are you experiencing empathy, and not just the social empathy, which everybody's supposed to have, and not just being an empath versus narcissist empath. I mean, really, I grew up with a Cancerian mother. I know how sensitive she is and how you would never know it, right? How you would never know. She's a tough cookie, my mom. Good Sicilian sesame seed cookie that she makes from scratch. I love her. I can't wait to see her over the holidays, right? So that sensitivity, but I'm going to go further than that. I'm going to say that this divine child, because it's the divine child, is picking up on all the children on planet Earth, and I just don't mean people under a certain age. I mean that inner child kind of vibe. Taking your guidance from the divine. If you call the divine Mother God, Father God, Mother, Father, God, Goddess, Zeus, Buddha, whoever, it is parental in that way. And that very much is soothing to the heart when it comes to survival stuff. But with the Pisces card, you're really feeling it. Mutable earth, it's moving through. You may very well have to feel it. To heal it, honestly, I don't know any other way, right? Inner child work, inner child work, inner child work, inner child work, because you are certainly feeling other people's stuff. Pisces is the 12th house, the unconscious, the collective unconscious, the great waters that connect all continents, right? But what we can't see, well, subconscious, but honestly, forever young, unconscious. What's going on here? Heart, throat, third eye, crown. my goddesses, for this Virgin archetype in their career. What's going on there? Oh, the Cancerian card. I'd say this is a water dominant read, wouldn't you? Come on, the Mermaid, Namu. I mean, you've got, okay, the Pisces card, Maiden of Cups, that's the Knight of Cups, and you've got the Cancerian card, the Mother of Cups, that would be the King of Cups, the Cancerian card. It's a lot of water going on here. Look, whatever your emotional gig is right now, it might be really, really hard to keep out the negative forces. But remember, a child is going to experience certain energies as only negative because it doesn't feel safe. I've said it before. If a child feels safe, it can go anywhere, right? It's up for it, right? But if it doesn't feel safe, it's not doing Disneyland, right? It doesn't even want to do its favorite place if it doesn't feel safe, right? So you might totally be healing energies for other people. I'm going to say, it's almost like we've got a maiden, mother, and crown on the table. We've got a divine child, that virgin mother, but the Cancer card, your card, in the center lane here. And then the Femme Fatale. You know, Femme Fatales to me aren't necessarily old women, right? They're not necessarily crones, but you could say divine child, mother, Femme Fatale is a threefold goddess here. So let's look. In their vocation, the spiritual power of the Femme Fatale to draw to themselves, to use that, right? They do use the word that highlights the erotic energy of the feminine, right? That mystery, that draw, that pull, right? While they have to be really looking at their attachments to money and power on this, in their spiritual calling, what do you got? Got the witch, the Magician card, and the Daughters of the Moon Tarot. This is a very intense read. Look, this is about reality creation, sure, right? Taking something from spirit, bringing it down through the chakras, manifesting it into form. But it's about alignment. It is about power. It is about being magnetic and wise, and all of the intense, powerful, wonderful aspects of feminine energy in terms of a spiritual calling. I mean, honestly, there are many faces to the goddess, right? Maiden, Mother, Crone being 3, right? There is the Queen. There is the Enchantress, right? There is, you know, and certainly the Witch is not, to me, purely feminine, is a gender neutral word, right? Like Catholic or Jew or Muslim, it's witch, right? And I put it in, you can also say Democrat, Republican, conservative, liberal, right? It's not conservatet, right? So that channeling of your own femme fatale power, rock. I mean, this is very, very, very powerful. What's this look like on the inner? I'm so psyched for you. Let's get the lower 3 chakras here, from the outside looking in at you, or you at the inside looking out at something in your work, career, vocation, and the physical world, or both of those, but it has to do with your relationships. Lower 3 chakras. Root chakra, tribal relationships, your families, your groups, even your nationality, your racial heritage, all of that stuff is tribal. Second chakra, one-on-one relationships, umbilical, not just to individual people, but to money, sexuality, creativity, second chakra's up. Third chakra, honor code, boundaries, self-esteem, intuition, survival, the seat of survival, intuition. Please take a nice deep breath. Well, yeah, you know, are you a queen? Are you a virgin queen here? As I call upon my gods of water and the sign of Cancer, powers of the West, please, what's going on? Lower 3 chakras here for the Cancerian collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading in their work, career, vocation. They've got the divine child in the 8th chakra of their work, and they've got that Piscean energy, which I can relate to, sensitive, empathic, but maybe picking up on everybody's everything. What's going on in the lower 3? The Lover's card, life changing decisions. Probably is not about romance, But, you know, can you make a loving, wise, empowered decision? Now, talk about three forces of power here. We've got Aphrodite, we've got Hera, we've got Athena. Aphrodite is love, Athena is wisdom, Hera is power. Represents these three chakras, Aphrodite, Athena, Hera. Can you make the wisest, most loving, empowered decision here? Well, the divine child can. But it has to feel safe, right? Innocence, purity, and redemption. And let's be clear, I didn't even realize this, you've got a double whammy of the word purity here. Purity of, symbolic purity of heart and spirit, and the purity of the divine child here. So yes, that child can do that, but is it ready to? There are lots of life-changing decisions, maybe one major one in terms of your work, but it's all about alignment, right? And that witch card with the Femme Fatale. My gods, that Virgin in their 8th chakra in their career with the Cancerian card, it's their card. They're really, truly, there's an emotional authenticity there. Even if the emotions change, I feel like they're picking up a lot of psychic stuff from other people. And I don't, defending against negative forces, man, there's only so much you can do if you're an empath. You gotta sometimes feel it to heal it and take the service as you can. Do the wise, loving, powerful thing. So I understand that purity, them wanting to, in that Cancerian, keep it all in their own womb space. What's going on? Root, sacrum, solar plexus for the Cancerians. I love it. The Sun. 2 major arcana cards in a row. This is about you really, really seeing things clearly. Let's start there. Yes, the happiest card in the deck, Illumination. There is truth being shown to you. There is a happiness. If this is you from the outside looking in, you're radiant, but certainly then that would say this divine child really does feel safe in its work, although it has a life-changing decision to make. With that Sun card, this is actually authentic happiness. The sun never stops shining. Clouds may obscure, or the planet may be turned away from it, called nighttime, but the sun never stops shining. Our happiness is truly our spiritual state that gets occluded, covered up by patterns and stuff like that. This is about your purity. This is about letting your light shine. I know, it's cliche, it's so after school special, but it is what it is. And this is about the mystical spiritual power here. My God, this is the Femme Fatale in the 8th chakra. A little jelly. A little. Femme Fatale in the 8th chakra. The witch archetype, right? The witch, the major arcana magician, then bringing something down into form from spirit. What's that look like in their vocation? Lower 3 chakras. Okay, 3 of Wands. There's a loyalty and a waiting here. Not just waiting for ships to come in, but understanding that this is going to take time. This is going to take patience. I feel like spiritually the decision has already been made. 2 of Flames for me is a crossroads card. It's a decision card, right? Maybe more of a choice where this is life-changing decision. But even if we do that and we consider the Three of Wands a choice made, and a choice has consequence. Decisions are life-changing. That's the difference. It's a difference of amperage, if you like, voltage. So there definitely, there's a choice. There's like, all right, well, I'm doing this. It may take a while. I mean, I don't have that, not yet, that twitch your nose, blink your eyes, say a rhyming couplet, and poof, it happens. Otherwise, I wouldn't need DoorDash. But you kind of get what I'm saying here. This is about the authentic use of your feminine power in terms of your calling. And because really, the Femme Fatale doesn't go out and chase. Right? Welcome to my lair, said the spider to the fly. Right? There is that vibe there of that erotic. Let it come to you in all that you do as a calling. But remember, Morticia Addams did some wonderful things for the community as well. The goth community, at least. Oh my God. Let's get your last 3 cards on the table. It is a 12-card spread. The healing mantra is to help with this, which I think are only going to take this already very high vibe read and kick it up a notch. How many many you got? 1, 2, 3 major arcana card at a 9 isn't, it's not out of the ballpark. Let's get your mantras. Please take a nice deep breath. I could totally see this for a gay man. I could totally see this for a gay man for some reason. Okay, so if this isn't your read and you know a Cancerian Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Sun, or, you know, whatever, feminine energy, you know what I'm talking about. My Ascended Master is throwing the cards all over the table here. I get the high vibe of this, so please, what are the 3 perfect healing mantras for the Cancerian collective? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading, to bring into alignment, to do the healing necessary for their own fulfillment of their own life purpose through work, career, vocation. In work, they've got the Divine Child archetype, Pisces on the inner, the Lovers on the outer. Their mantra is healing heartbreak. My heart will love again. I had a feeling there that, remember, heartbreak isn't just about romance. It can be about the loss of jobs. It can be loss of money. That heartbreak, that's something you had your heart set on. And remember, there are only, what, billions of people feeling that through what we've all been through on the planet collectively, right? If you're plugged into that, I'm just going to say, you got a life-changing decision. But make the decision right now to say, my heart may be broken, but it can still be open. And I think that's what we're looking at here with this Virgin and this Femme Fatale, to plug back into that Divine Child redemption. My heart will love again. Of course it will. Love is our true nature, but that doesn't mean we have to be loving all the time, right? That's a judgment on yourself. I'm not being very loving. Well, then whatever arises, love that. Thank you, Matt Kahn, Healing Mantra Tech, right? Then love that child. If that child is heartbroken over something in the work arena, mind you, then absolutely, it needs more love, not less. Just don't let it drive. I don't feel like this is where your leverage is. I think this is where you're looking at the physical manifestation. And of course, we're looking at the mother of the zodiac, this Cancer card here, the internal work in the career with the Virgin archetype, right? And the Sun, S-U-N, right? Apollo. There might even be clarity, vision, and prophecy coming on here with this healing. What's their perfect healing mantra, please? My Ascended Masters. Just leave that one in my hand. Transforming tragedy. Loss is my reminder that more room has been made for greater gifts to be received. Like I said, we are all going through a deeper understanding of the cycles of gain and loss, waxing and waning. As eternal beings, that's something we have to get used to in a linear world of multiplicity, not just one thing, endless numbers of things that are constantly waxing and waning, right? Erosion gives way to renewal, gives way to erosion, on and on. All that rises falls. Now, do not build your house on sand, build it on bedrock. Love sliding in some New Testament in there, just piss everybody off. So transforming tragedy, the light is shining here. Really look to your Virgin archetype about the symbolic purity. There may very well, I mean, who hasn't been touched by tragedy in some way, shape, or form these past couple of years? With healing heartbreak, it totally makes sense. So really get into that symbolic purity of heart and spirit, that I still can feel, I still can love, I still can care, right? Right? Because more room has been made for greater gifts to be received. And I think that's very much a thing a mother says to a child. You think about it, it's like, honey, I know, but now there's more room for good stuff to come in. That's the kind of love I feel like you need to give to yourself on this. Mother yourself with that Cancerian card there. Do it very purely. Don't lie to your inner child, right? And transform the tragedy that's been going on, which, remember, if you're an empath, you're feeling millions of people's at that particular moment. Yeah. You gotta feel it to heal it. All right, this is the one. This feels like really, truly where your full leverage is. Femme Fatale in the 8th chakra. of their vocation. The witch, the magician on the inner, 3 of wands on the outer. Like the trigger's not quite pulled yet, but she's ready and aim. What's the mantra to help her get to fire? Encountering conflict. I don't choose sides, I take a stand. This is a very powerful mantra, and we'll get there. That there is something here, that you've got a lot of power, but you're dealing with people, you're encountering conflict here, and the conflict might very well be of a spiritual nature. Particularly if it involves feminine empowerment. If you're dealing with more, let's just say, old school patriarchal themes. Let's just leave that there. Encountering conflict. I don't have to choose sides. I take a stand. This mantra has helped me deal with all sorts of people, not just clients, family members, friends on Facebook, whose points of view differ from mine. I don't have to choose a side. I can be loving and just listen to you. I give you the attention. Oprah said it. Everybody just wants to be heard. Everybody just wants to be seen. Well, be the witch. Don't pull the trigger. Don't release the hounds on this one, at least not yet, because if that child does not feel safe, if it feels heartbroken, and this tragedy has not yet brought in perhaps the new gifts to be received as a result of some loss here, although I see that the wisdom has been gained here, the purity goes untouched. Got a double whammy of purity here. I don't feel like this is somebody who's off track. I don't feel like this is somebody who's done something wrong. I feel like this is somebody who is at a major crossroads in their life. Spiritually, they've already known what they're going to do. They're just not pulling the trigger yet. And in the meantime, people don't have to like it. People don't have to like what your calling is, at least not anymore. I mean, they can't really burn us at the stake. We have lawyers now. I don't know how many witch lawyers I have. Those people have helped. Lots of pro bono stacked up in that metaphoric credit bank there. Look, you don't have to choose sides. Take a stand. Hear everybody out, but that doesn't mean you have to agree to them. I have said to people to their faces that I love, friends and family, I can disagree with you and still love you, and I love you. Cope, right? At that point, you're saying anything else that's going on here, you know, clean up your own emotions here. Obviously, there's a lot of water going on here. But it does feel like the new gifts that are coming in are sort of dependent upon you channeling, I hate that word, this femme fatale energy. You could probably reduce them to ashes. Don't. Don't, right? Not with that purity, that divine child. This is a hard alignment, but I feel like really, really worth it. So just put the mantras together. You're healing heartbreak, transforming tragedy, and encountering conflict, because you don't have to choose sides. You can take a stand. Loss is your reminder that more room has been made for greater gifts to be received, and your heart will love again in your work, career, vocation. To get that, you're an eternal being that came in to learn to develop the soul powers of the divine child, the virgin, and the femme fatale through your work, career, vocation, just for this phase. This isn't lifelong. This is a chapter in your book, or a book in your series of work, career, vocation. So grab the power that you can. These mantras will be very helpful for you, but remember, you got to feel them to have it heal them, if that makes sense. Let me give you the final blessing. Please take a nice deep breath. Intense read, huh? My collective pantheons of the divine, please. May the Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this readings, hey, all of them everywhere, whether they're watching or not, may they be blessed with all that they need in their work, career, vocation, that they may maintain that innocence, purity, and sense of redemption, particularly with their heart loving again, with their special connection to the divine as they're healing heartbreak and a major decision here, feeling all sorts of everything going on inside of them with that mantra. My heart will love again. Their hearts will love again. While in their career, they are maintaining the symbolic purity of heart and spirit, keeping their hearts open, feeling it and healing it and shining their light, being compassionate to the best of their ability while they are transforming tragedy, because loss is their reminder that more room has been made. Emotional room has been made for greater gifts to come in. So in their vocation, they can really highlight their own erotic energy of the feminine, opening their heart when their dependency has been rejected, and that dependency might not be another human being. It might be a dependency on the money that came and something that they really love to do, and they're very emotional about, and they have to make this big life-changing decision about, but that they don't have to choose sides. They can take a stand on this. They can hear it all out. They are going to be the ones who pull the trigger, and there's no reason why they shouldn't loyally wait for that right option, to take the time for things to come into alignment where they are able to do this wisely and well as the witch, gender neutral, wise person, for their well-being and for the well-being of all. So motivated. So it is. I really mean it. Cancerians work hard. Boogie down. Did you like it? Like it? Want more? Subscribe. You want more of me? Book me. I'm really, really good on video, apparently. This video calls Zoom and all that. And watch the video booking or reading with Mal. It explains all the different video platforms we can do it on, and I'm sure they'll keep coming up with more of them, although House Party is no longer a thing, I hear. That being said, my honor, my pleasure. You want to check out my book, please do. Comment below, please. What is your work, career, vocation? Help me see this through your eyes. Otherwise, wishing you all the very best and the very blessed of your work, career, vocation. My beloved crab cakes, hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.